Yo, first up, here's the host, Efren, explaining knowledge that's applying, never guessing. Next in line is Zach, the stat king. He'll call you out, cross you over, it's a sure thing. I a cheddar, no one better, crazy knowledge. On point, talking pros down to college. Jackie Jack on the grind, he'll never tire. Youngest buck on the show, he brings the fire. Never slip, keep your grip, Tico's in the booth. Ease the drip, Tico's lit, always spits the truth. Finally, it's me, it's KG. Piling stats and spitting facts daily. The Sports Shed, the Sports Shed. The Sports Shed, the Sports Shed. Podcast. The Sports Shed, the Sports Shed. The Sports Shed, the Sports Shed. Podcast. The Sports Shed, the Sports Shed.
Welcome to another episode of the Sports Shed Podcast. And as the intro said, I am your host, Efren. To my left, but probably to your right, is Cheddar. Right next to him is Zach. And of course, behind that glimmering room, he's there. Looks like, I don't know, I feel like going to Studio 54. Keith, how's it going, bud? I forgot to tell you, Keith. Studio 54 closed down many decades ago. So sorry to tell you about the bad
Still
news.
alive in my head. Still alive. Still alive. My John
There you
Travolta.
go.
You know?
Oh, staying alive, staying alive. Sorry, these millennials over here, these youngins, they wouldn't understand that. So
Got no clue. They got no clue.
they have no clue about that.
Hey, up your nose with a rubber hose. There you go. Lenny Barbarino.
We have a couple of guys that will not be on today's show due to prior engagement. Jason, Tigo, and Jack. So hope we get to see you guys next week, and we miss you guys here at the show. We're gonna get going, and last week a couple of days over the weekend as far as college football and the NFL.
Can you try talking into this?
You gotta turn your mic
It's a little
up.
loud.
How about now?
Yeah, good. 'Cause
My apologies.
you were peaking.
Oh, I was peaking. Okay, sorry about that. But as far as last week in regards to college football, there were a couple of games that actually took place, and in regards to the number one team in the country, Georgia Bulldogs, they just actually squeaked a game over Kentucky. Actually, Kentucky looked like they were dominating the game, but they ended up losing the game 13-12. And as a result of that, when the rankings came out, now they're the number two team in the country because Texas actually handled their business in a blowout over University of Texas at San Antonio. I believe, what was the score again? I believe it was...
It was a blowout.
It was just a
Texas
blowout.
was a blowout.
56-7.
Yeah, actually, Zach was right the first time. It was a blowout. And as a result, Texas jumped to be the new number one in the new AP polls this coming week.
And Kentucky would have won the game had that pick six counted. I thought, because I believe they ruled it a pick six on the field, I thought it wasn't enough to really overturn it,
Right.
but they went with that, and Georgia ended up still squeaking out.
Well, the big thing about the thing about the Texas game is not necessarily the blowout, but who actually ended up coming into the game, unfortunately, as a result of the injury for the starting quarterback Ewers, Arch Manning. And again, I understand it was against the University of Texas San Antonio, but I think the most surprising thing is the man can run.
Yeah.
He threw for 4 touchdowns, 1 rushing. I believe, was it over a 50-yarder?
The run?
The run.
It was 65 yards.
Okay, 65. I think that was probably the most impressive. Actually, when they were, they actually asked his uncle, Peyton Manning. He says, "I don't really know when we saw the burst of speed. I don't know what happened, but I don't know why Dad allowed us to skip the speed and it went straight to our nephew because I guess their dad actually had, he could actually run when he played in the NFL with the Saints."
I seen a comment that was like, nothing scarier than a Manning that can run.
Yeah. No joke.
That's what I said to Zach when he was here when we were watching that game. I was like, isn't he the son of the brother that didn't play football?
Cooper.
Correct.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's the one with the more skills.
Wasn't he supposed to be the best one out of all three, or no? Or was I wrong?
Cooper? No, it was
No.
it was supposed to be Peyton.
I think Peyton was the highest.
Okay, all right. I wasn't sure though. That's all. All right. Yeah, but here's the question though. Do you think because he actually was named the starting quarterback for this upcoming week, and they should also manhandle their opponent this week. But do you think if Arch Manning continues to play the way he did, should he continue to be the starter, or should Ewers come back and get his job back?
I think Ewers should come back and get his job back because you always have Archie Manning next year. Personally,
I would think, just considering how Ewers was playing, and it was his job before he got hurt. I think you stick with him because he's been there he was there last year too. You kind of know what you're gonna get with him.
and it's like it's only fair. He didn't lose the starting job.
Yeah.
It's not like you're losing any talent.
It's a lot different than
It's just yeah.
It's a lot different than the Oklahoma situation where
Yeah.
Spencer Rattler a couple of years ago just wasn't playing well when they brought Caleb Williams in.
That's true.
I mean, Ewers hasn't done anything to lose the job.
Yeah.
Plus, Ewers is a senior.
Yes.
Arch Manning is only a sophomore, a true sophomore, so he at least has one more year should he come back. I kind of expect
He's
him to
coming
come
back,
I
yeah.
expect him to come back. Number one, number two, I don't expect you to lose his starting job as a result of it. Now, depending on the injury and the length of time, if he misses, say, multiple games and he keeps playing the way he's playing, then I think it's going to become an issue, in my opinion.
I don't know
think
how
so.
long he'll be out, but if he's out till that Oklahoma game and Arch Manning looks really good against probably Oklahoma, if they can pull out Tennessee, like if it gets to the point where he plays a really good team and he just plays
Smokes.
absolutely well, like I can't see them just be like, oh, let's just take him out when he's already hot. But you can go.
See, I think no matter what, it has to be Ewers back as the starter, just because it is his draft year at the end of the day, and he's a senior. He hasn't done anything to not be the starter. Arch Manning is a really good backup right now. Should be a starter on a lot of these college D1 teams, top D1 teams. It just shows how good of a recruiting class that Texas had in their QBs. And Texas is going to be deadly next year. That's all I'm going to say with him at QB.
Even this year too. No matter
Oh, yeah,
no
and
matter
this year.
who's
And this year.
quarterback, really, they're going to be good.
I think it's Ewers' job to lose, and I
Yeah.
don't think he's losing it because it's an injury.
You know.
But yeah, like I said, it's his senior year, and when he's healthy, let him play.
That's
Manning
true.
will have his time.
Or
Well, I'll say if he misses at least three more games, and if Arch Manning is putting up those numbers, I think then the head coach will probably start asking himself questions.
I think even with Ewers, I'm a little impressed too because he lost his top two receivers from last year.
Yeah.
Worthy and
Xavier
Adonai
Worthy.
Mitchell.
That's right.
And then he decided to return this year, and he was playing really well until he got hurt. So I think just showing that he's no matter who he's throwing to, he just seems to be performing well.
Well, I think he's gonna be a lottery pick. So at the
Yeah.
end of the day, I think he's a lottery pick because he hasn't really shown any reason why he's digressing. He just it's just an injury. It's football.
I think when he's
But-
healthy, you give him his job back, and then
Mhm.
if he plays bad, you got a good option for number two. So
Yep.
That's true.
Yeah, I
That's
agree.
true.
and then maybe out of nowhere, this is like crazy, like very crazy. Like imagine if they drop out and if they just have a bowl game, then you probably start Arch Manning.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah, I don't see Texas.
they're not going to drop out, but I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean?
well, that's
Time
your
will
team
tell.
next, right?
Yeah.
Time will tell.
Yeah. The next couple of games, the two teams, Miami took care of business against Ball State. I don't think there's much of a surprise there. Oklahoma at first over Tulane, even though they won 34-19. I'm a little sketchy about my Sooners. Love them to death, Zach and I, but I'm a little sketchy. They're having a problem running the ball. Their defense is their defense so far. They haven't really played anybody. I'll cop to that as well. But as far as the running, the way they can run early on so far this season, that's the only thing that concerns me. So, yeah, Oklahoma.
Yeah. We'll get into the this week's matchup in a little bit.
Yeah.
all right.
So, but in anyway, they took care of business, and then last but not least, one of the games that actually, by the way, Keith, you're gonna enjoy this. This game screwed up my parlay. Okay, I had a parlay, a 6-game parlay, and everything was right. And the last game was LSU and South Carolina. Okay, I figured I threw a dollar bet, with the little profit boost or what have you. It was going to be like $175 on a dollar bet, $175. And I lost it on the last play with LSU when they won and came back 36-33. And I believe they were down by what, either 14 or 17, something like that. I know they were down, I think, by double digits. So that was one of two parlays that messed me up on Saturday.
I believe
So
I picked LSU
That
last week.
hurts.
I believe I did.
I picked South Carolina.
I believe I picked
I picked
LSU.
South Carolina. So I'm a little upset about LSU. So I'm hoping that our Oklahoma Sooners in the last game of the season handles business against LSU. I don't care if it is at Death Valley. But that's me. That's
And
just
then
me right now.
One more game is the Missouri and Boston College game.
Yes.
that was probably the best game.
27-21.
And
Missouri
I
pulls
think
it
that
out.
this shows though that Boston College can play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It shows that they can play.
And here's the thing I noticed, even though the score, the score,
I called it.
The score was 27-21, right?
Yep.
Do you know that Missouri scored the last 24 points of the game?
Yeah.
Boston College was up.
It was just some forced errors by the QB for Boston College. 2 interceptions, I believe, in the second half.
Man.
South Carolina, though, is tough.
Yeah, because you remember Frank Beamer, you would know with the ACC. Frank Beamer, remember the head coach at Virginia Tech? Well, his son is the head coach at South Carolina. So that doesn't really surprise me that because he came in last year turning a program that was in shambles, and to do what he's done so far, they should be 3-0. So South Carolina is actually a pretty good team this year.
One more I just noticed is Tigo's team with getting a 10-point victory over Arkansas State.
So again, Michigan and Arkansas State, thank you for bringing that up. I really wasn't going to mention it because I didn't really want to go there because our boy Tigo is not here. But I'm sure he's listening or will be listening. I just got to call it out, man. That's a disgrace. That's just a disgrace right now. Michigan beating Arkansas State by 10, barely beating the first game, Fresno State. And I say barely because it was the pick six that kind of made it a little lopsided. And then, again, I'm having some technical difficulties over here, people. All right. And then they get blown out by Texas. Michigan has no running game. Michigan has no passing game. Their defense is going to give way towards the end of the season because they're going to be on the field so much. But as far as beating Arkansas State by 10, it is a disgrace. They should have even been lowered. I don't think they should have been ranked, to be honest with you, at 18th. They play. Let's segue into that unless you have another game.
I have something on Michigan.
No, go right ahead. Everybody does.
They had one person that was rushing pretty good. Khalil. How do you pronounce that name, Zach? Mullins.
I have to look. Hold on, let me see.
15 carries for 153 yards,
Oh, yeah.
10.2 in average. I mean,
I
he
mean,
was
Khalil.
rushing pretty good. I mean, they're not throwing the ball at all, but
I mean,
I think it's Khalil.
is it a team that deserves to be top 20? Probably not at all. Honestly,
Well-
they should be 20 to 25
They haven't been playing well, but this is another chance to play a ranked team this upcoming week,
against.
USC. So we'll get in that when we talk about those games. And then last
Hey.
that I want to
no, go ahead, Keith.
ahead,
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead.
Go ahead, bud.
I'm going to say before we go any further, big shout out to Kentucky for putting up a fight against Georgia.
No joke.
From getting smacked the week before to putting that kind of show, that was a good game. Just wanted to throw that out there for one of our guests that aren't here.
Yes,
For
that
one of
one is for you, Jason. I was really impressed. I'm not gonna lie. I was really hoping you help us out here, so it'd help out Oklahoma as they move up. But no, Kentucky again. It's an SEC conference game. A lot of these players know each other, and that it's really not that surprising that it ended up being the way it did.
I mean, the props to just Kentucky's defense was just insane that game. Honestly,
It was just a defensive game.
yeah, it was like
That's basically what it was. Like,
any given Sunday is what they say.
oh, in this case, Saturday.
Saturdays.
And then
Yeah.
last, I was completely wrong about Arizona. They got whooped by Kansas State on Friday. Completely wrong about that.
That was on my part.
That was it. That's last for me.
I would like to know what I picked. I don't recall.
I
But
don't recall.
knowing me, I'd probably say Arizona.
I know Jack said Kansas State.
I think I went
'Cause he's high
Arizona.
on them.
Man, They'll probably be moving up eventually, though, when the weekend is over.
All right, we can go into
But
this week's.
segueing from the Michigan game over Arkansas State, they're going to be playing USC, the number 11th ranked team in the country. And yes, I did say earlier that Lincoln Riley will not finish above 500. I'm not budging from it. I'm gonna stay put. It's just week. What is it? This is gonna be their third game. Were they idle? I believe.
Yeah.
Okay, they were idle, so this will be their third game. Unfortunately, because of Michigan's inept offense, I know that USC is going to win. That I'm just gonna straight out. I unfortunately, this is what I think is gonna happen. USC is gonna blow out Michigan.
So they're going to be 3-0, and they're still going to find a way to be under 500.
You know what? I'm gonna stick with my guns right now until I'm proven other. I'm gonna stick with it. You know, I made that prediction. It's only game 3. It's only week 3. There's still probably another 7-8 games left, and they're still in the Big Ten. So I'm gonna stay by it for now.
All right.
I'm gonna go with USC. I think Michigan's offense is pitiful. And USC, just USC.
Yeah, I'm going USC too.
Keith,
USC.
that
Short and sweet.
short and sweet, man. I never thought I'd be saying that about Michigan, but we are. So the
Sorry,
next,
Tigo.
well,
Much love, Tigo.
yeah, man. Sorry, bro, but we gotta call it like we see it, brother. The one game that we're just gonna go over real quick is the NIU, Northern Illinois University, the only school not in the Power 4 conference ranked in the top 25. They're at number 23. They're gonna be at home against the University of Buffalo. Those two teams, they're in the MAC conference, MAC, and right now, Northern Illinois could potentially be playoff bound because the 5th seed, I should say the 5th seed, the top 5, obviously the 4 conference winners will get an automatic bid, but that 5th one, because there is no Pac-12, that 5th one goes to the conference winner who is ranked the highest. So it could be someone out of the Mountain West. It could be somebody out of the MAC conference. Right now, Boise State has a 26% chance of getting that 5th. But because Northern Illinois pulled that upset at Notre Dame, I think they have about, I believe, a 19% or a 20% chance of actually making the playoffs. They can run the table in their conference. And if they do, I suspect they might get taken, depending on what the other schools do in the other conferences. I got NIU, Northern Illinois.
So I can see Northern Illinois winning this. I wasn't that high on Notre Dame anyways.
No one is.
So it's like, can they? I'm gonna go with Northern Illinois. Yeah.
Zachary, you want to tell them how bad University of Buffalo is football team? You want to tell them?
It's
just bad.
Recent years, I know they're 2-1 right now. But yeah, recently they haven't been that good. Here's another thing about Northern Illinois. I know you guys say you're not high on Notre Dame. They still are one of the top colleges, schools. I mean, yeah, they're probably not going to make the playoff, would be my guess. But it's still a very, very good win for them. And you can't take that
I'm
away.
not going to take that away from them.
But here's another thing, though. Not only if they go undefeated would they have that good win, but they also have NC State on their schedule. I'm looking at right now.
Northern Illinois.
So Northern Illinois, if they go undefeated, they beat Notre Dame and NC State.
That's 2 quality wins.
That I would say that they'll make the college.
That's what I mean. And that's what I'm talking about, the non-conference. But real quick, when you say about Notre Dame, I did say earlier in one of our shows, I did say this year I will still take a 3-loss SEC team over a 1-loss Notre Dame team this year.
I do think, though, I know you mentioned a part where, like, they're going to have the top team, like, whoever wins the conference, like, automatically makes the college playoff. So now that I'm thinking with that in mind, you might not be able to squeak in with 3 losses because that takes away spots. And especially
it's going to come down to it's going to come down to shut the schedule. And you know that.
And especially like if a top team who probably already like get a bid, but then they lose like in the championship game to the second place team that's not as good, that then takes up another spot similar to the March Madness.
That's true.
So I could see it now more likely where a 3-loss team won't make it, depending on who else makes it.
That's
So-
true. Depending on how everything falls into place.
So, yeah,
right.
yeah.
That's true.
It's just something we got to see
Right.
towards the end of the season with quality wins and stuff and
So-
players, teams' records.
Just real quick. No, go ahead, John.
I don't know if I said I got Northern Illinois, right?
Yeah, you did.
I did say that.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
got
you
too.
did.
I got
Keith,
too.
Yeah.
Mr. Silent Knight over there. Who do you got,
Northern
bud?
Illinois.
Northern. He's
Quick
just
and
gonna
sweet and
he's
simple.
just say, you know what? I'm just ripping the Band-Aid right off. All right, Northern Illinois.
Sweet and simple.
So one of the intriguing matches before we go into the game of the week is it's gonna be UCLA LSU 16th in the country. I'm just saying LSU Death Valley is UCLA, not a football program. I know everybody knows about Troy Aikman, but still not a football program. LSU, I got all the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna be
LSU.
quick. I got LSU. I'm gonna be quick.
Yeah, I'm gonna be quick. LSU.
Keith?
LSU.
There you go. The last two. This one though is interesting. Number 12 Utah at Oklahoma State. Number 14.
There's a couple other ones we can quickly just get
Sure,
predictions.
sure, absolutely. Utah considered having one of the best defenses in the country against Oklahoma State. Usually with Gundy, their head coach, their offense running, throwing, mainly running, but a lot of throwing as well. This one is at Oklahoma State. I did say Utah is going to win the Big 12. I did say they will be a representative of the Big 12. I'm going to stick with Utah, but I think Utah is going to win. I'm going to say by no more than a field goal.
I'm gonna go with Oklahoma State. I really like the running back, and then their quarterback has played a lot better than I thought he would play this season. But I don't know, something about Oklahoma State and Ollie Gordon, their running back. I like it. And then obviously Utah coming off a not so great win against Utah State, but towards the end they did pull away. I got a feeling Oklahoma State, and they're home.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Oklahoma State. The running back's really good. They're home. I see Oklahoma State winning and pulling the upset.
I'm going to go Utah.
There you go. The
right,
Utes.
two.
The Utes. The Utes. What a couple of games you have
All right,
for us?
just real quickly, we got another ranked matchup: Illinois versus Nebraska. I'm going Nebraska. Dylan Raiola
that's right.
is just
What is
really
it?
good this
20,
year.
22 versus 24, something like that?
Yep.
22
Nebraska
versus
22, Illinois 24. I'm
Ra-
going Nebraska.
was it Raiola again, one of the highest quarterback recruits in the country last year. Where's this at? Actually, no, it doesn't really matter.
At Nebraska.
Okay, that even makes it a lot easier. I'm going with Nebraska. I think that when they win this game over a Big Ten ranked team, I anticipate them to be ranked above 20, somewhere between 15 and 19 at the end of the week.
I'm gonna go with Nebraska because they got Patrick Mahomes secretly playing for them. So
Okay, whatever rationale you want to use, because that's actually the norm for you.
go back and look at those tapes. He get Patrick Mahomes
Hey,
luck.
I've actually watched Nebraska played the last game when they played Colorado. Yeah, so I know how this kid plays.
He
does.
gets Patrick Mahomes luck.
Yep.
That's what he gets.
What you got there, Keith?
Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock on Fox, Nebraska.
Oh, my man gave you the shout out right there, Nebraska, and a plug.
Two more solid games that we can just give our quick predictions. NC State versus Clemson. I'm gonna go with Clemson. They haven't shown a reason as to like a big decline to lose to NC State, so I'm gonna go Clemson.
I'm taking NC State. I know what is it? Klubnik, I believe, is the quarterback's name. He threw 7 touchdowns, I believe, or was responsible for 7 touchdowns against Appalachian State. Again, a blowout from Georgia, a blowout against Appalachian State. Even though Appalachian State just came into the Division I several years ago, they usually pull upsets. But I'm still not sold on Clemson. Like I said before, I think Dabo Swinney's 15 minutes of fame is here and gone. I'm taking NC State.
I'm gonna go with Clemson just because the quarterback play has been better.
Clemson ranked number 21, 1-1 record. I don't like Clemson. Obvious reasons.
We know.
I'm gonna go NC. I'm gonna go NC State, not because I don't like Clemson, just because I don't know. I think NC State's gonna win.
It's because he doesn't. It's because it's because he doesn't like Clemson. I'll say it for him.
I'm not sold on Clemson either. It's just that I feel like they have better quarterback play than NC State.
Last one, unranked Georgia Tech versus number 19 Louisville.
You know what? Louisville has always put up when they need to. Louisville tends to always remain ranked. I think Georgia Tech came and went, and I'm taking Louisville. Straightforward, Louisville.
I seen Georgia Tech had a bounce back win against a not so good team. I got a feeling that they're gonna pull it off in Louisville.
Wow.
I'm going.
What do you
GT
got there,
as
guys?
well.
I'm gonna go with Georgia Tech.
GT.
GT, there you go. But of course, last but not least, College Game Day will be there Saturday at 9, early rising over in Norman, Oklahoma. And the game of the week at 7:30 is going to be by Kirk Herbstreit and Chris Fowler. It's going to be Tennessee at Oklahoma. Go OU. The big thing and the big storyline really is not that necessarily this is Oklahoma's first SEC game, number one. But the bigger one is Josh Heupel, who is the head coach of Tennessee. Many people may not know this. Our fans do, but he's the one that brought our last national title back in 2000. And he was the offensive coordinator from 2011 to 2014. I'm going to say supposedly, but I believe many have said that he was actually fired. And they brought in Lincoln Riley to become the new offensive coordinator. I heard he wasn't happy about that. He wasn't, to be honest with you. I think this is more like
You didn't say it, but he was our quarterback on our last.
Oh, I'm sorry. He was our quarterback, by the way, our starting quarterback in the last national title for Oklahoma Sooners back in 2000. Sorry about that, Mr. Heupel, but he was our starting quarterback,
Lefty.
and a lefty on top of that. And when he was fired as offensive coordinator from 2011 2014, they brought in Lincoln Riley. He was not happy. Not that I blame him. And I think that this is going to be one of those I'm going to get you back moments. But at the end of the day, I know that Tennessee has that freshman quarterback playing phenomenal. Again, Tennessee has played through, besides NC State, because they blew them out a couple of weekends ago, 51-10. They played Kent last week. I think it was 71 or 73-0. And then I'm trying to remember what was opening. Against Chattanooga, and that was another blowout, 63-0. So really, they haven't really played anybody. This is going to be their first true test. But I'm taking Oklahoma all the way. Go Sooners.
Sorry, I'm going Tennessee.
Of course you are. Of course you are. Just not much of a shock.
Just Tennessee. The teams they played, the way they beat them. I can't go against Tennessee.
Oh,
You want me to go?
yeah. Go ahead, Keith. Go ahead.
I'll let Zach go last. I hate to do this to my family.
Hey,
But when me and Zach watched that game last week, I was like, they showed up and played as a ranked team with 6 minutes left to go.
I agree. I saw the game too against Tulane. Yep.
And I don't know. I just don't think they're going to be able to. Is it in? Where's the game at?
It is in Oklahoma.
It's in Oklahoma.
It is in Oklahoma.
Yes, and the whole country is watching it. The whole on ABC.
All right, I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to think they're going to get their ish together, and I'm going to go Oklahoma.
Together.
I'm going to go Oklahoma.
I've been watching and looking at these games, and Tennessee has showed no reason as to why they're going to lose. But I don't care.
Yes.
Give me the Sooners.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's my son.
People are talking down on us by the way we played these last 2 weeks. We're gonna come out.
3
weeks.
3 weeks.
Well, the very first game we blew them out.
Oh, that's right. Temple, 51-0. You're right. You're right. I take that
last
back.
2 weeks.
That's right.
51-3.
That's right. 3.
I'm gonna say we're gonna come out and we're gonna just we're gonna make a stamp. We're gonna put our foot. We're gonna break the door down and we're gonna win this game.
You know, I love your enthusiasm, just like Tigo and the Giants.
You never bet against.
We're not going to the Giants. I'm not even gonna just acknowledge.
I'm not even gonna acknowledge. No, we're not doing it. We're not doing it. We're not doing it.
It's not like it's not. it's definitely doable for
We're 3-0.
Yeah, oh, 100%.
Okay.
I'm not saying you guys
Okay,
are bad.
win a game
I'm-
and then compare us to the.
I'm not saying you guys are. It's a bad. You're a bad team
Oh,
right
my
now.
God.
I'm just saying Tennessee's better.
He's ready to give you another line for the next shirt, bro. I felt that. I
we
felt that.
we have to prove that
Yeah.
we can play in the SEC.
Then there
I
you
think giving us this home game, I think, is huge.
Yes.
For the rest of the season.
Yes.
And hey, if we win this game, it shows that we're here. We're here to play.
That's right.
All right.
Yep.
We're here
that's
to
what-
make noise.
Exactly.
If we
Remember,
lose, well then.
we still have a strong schedule to make up grounds. So that's the
Is
only
that-
thing.
Is that the last game that we're covering?
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Texas or
Yes.
whoever they're playing.
Can I
Is
just
that-
get your opinions real quick?
Texas should take care of business. I mean, come on. I'm not. Yeah. Go ahead.
Can I
Go
get
ahead.
your
Go ahead.
Can I get your opinions real quick?
Go right ahead. Absolutely.
Does Florida State go 0-4 after this week?
Who they play?
Playing Cal 3-0.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
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 That's what I wanted to hear. Thank you.
No, I'm not even gonna try to sugarcoat it.
FS who?
You got the coach making excuses about a tough schedule when
Schedule.
it's not a tough
Yeah.
schedule.
Oh, come on.
Their quarterback has just not played well.
They're shot. Their team is shot. Their coach is shot.
It's
Their
not the coach. It's the
their
quarterback.
is
play.
their
You have a
quarterback
coach
is-
making excuses. You
Okay.
can't have a coach make excuses.
I get
No,
it.
their quarterback has been trying.
No, but it's the quarterback.
quarterback's been
Yeah, I mean,
True.
it's been. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna cut to
It's
this.
probably a way of him trying to just not blame his quarterback. And
That's
he's just
all.
like, oh, just a tough schedule.
And
Like,
he'll take the heat for it. I
He's
think
just-
that's what he's trying to do. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna make this statement.
I'm gonna make a crazy statement,
But
but all
I'm
the
gonna-
attention on me.
right,
Take
and-
it off the quarterback who's just
All
been
right,
playing
fair.
trash. For me.
That's what I think. If anything.
And honestly, I don't even care if their season's done.
Their season's
So
over.
It
It's
don't even-
over.
It don't even matter.
It don't even matter. But yes, Cal, just for the folks out there, the Oakland area. Just real quick, the Pac-12 supposedly was gone, and now there are talks that the likelihood that 4 new teams will be joining the Pac-12, which will be joining Oregon State and Washington State. The teams are going to be that I see is Boise State, Colorado State, San Diego State, and Fresno State. And all 4 of those schools are in the Mountain West Conference, which, again, is eligible for the 5th spot, automatic bid for the college playoffs. And that would make them the Pac-6, so to speak. But those are the 4 teams, supposedly, they're in the talks of actually joining the Pac-12. I don't know if anybody have anything to add to that, but I'm kind of glad. I'm sorry. I'm kind of glad that the Pac-12 is not going away, but I'll add a little bit more. Go ahead, Zach.
Just for Keith's sake, Miami's gonna destroy South Florida. That's all I'm saying. So throw that out there.
Yes. Is it? Are they going to score more than 62?
What's
They're definitely gonna score more than 40.
what's the spread? Remember. Well, I was gonna say they held their own against Alabama, but then the score got crazy when Alabama scored 28 points in the 4th quarter. So
Can't
never
more
mind.
is
The
just-
spread is 17. I want to say.
Because South Florida is not as bad as people think it is. Because for
No.
about 3.5 quarters and change, they were within 1 score. Like I think they were down by like 2 or 3 points to Alabama. So I think because of the way they played, even though they ended up getting racked for the rest of the game, the last few minutes, whatever it was, with 4 touchdowns in the 4th quarter, I'm not really that surprised that the spread is only 17 or 18. I'm not that surprised.
I mean,
So-
they've scored 40 plus in every single game so far. So,
You're talking about South Florida, right?
yeah. They
Yes, they-
48-3 their first game, 42. Oh, I'm sorry. It's besides the Alabama game.
Right.
And then they won last week 49-24. So,
So again, I'm not surprised that the spread is the way it is. Because they can put points.
They're in South Florida too.
And they're in Florida, it's Miami, and it's at South Florida. It's probably, so, but I do expect Miami to win by at least 2 touchdowns. So,
Moving on.
all right. So as far as the Pac-12, I know somebody has said to me they should just be away with it. But the reason I would like I need the Pac-12 to stay is because you got those Western schools rivalries, and just the traveling alone to have fans, have like California Stafford. the probability is that fans are not going to be traveling literally across the country, for road games versus having to go locally. If you're in California, going to Oregon, going to Washington. So I'm kind of glad that the Pac-12 is remaining just for that regional rivalries.
I'm cool keeping it. I just think that it should no longer be a power conference. And I'm pretty sure going forward, I don't know if they will, but they shouldn't have that for the college playoff like a spot.
That's why it's Power Four now. They called it the Power Four. So,
That's
and the reason why is because now because they want to build up the Pac-12 to make it that one conference that could legitimately be the fifth pick every year.
Yeah,
But they're not gonna.
They
They're
don't
not
have
power,
the teams
they're power.
for
Nah,
that. No,
nah.
it's basically like a
They
Mountain
only have
West
3
type.
teams. They're gonna only have 6.
Well, that's
There's like
more.
there's no point.
No, it's not going to be a power conference like the old Pac-12.
Even if
it's
they-
gonna-
even
it's
if-
going to be like a Mountain West.
Yeah,
conference.
even if they
Oh,
had
like
both.
where Vermont
Yeah.
is.
It's just a smaller MAC conference.
They
Like,
call
it's
it mid majors. Is basically
Okay.
what they call
It's
it.
not.
Yeah.
It's not a power.
Yeah.
Like Vermont in basketball.
Yes.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Yes.
one of
Like
those.
Vermont
It's
and
gonna be like
basketball.
Mountain West, San Diego State,
Oh,
like
okay.
those schools. That,
Correct, correct.
I don't know who else they play, but
Right.
it's gonna be like that.
Well, yeah, the Mountain West, Fresno State, Air Force, Wyoming, Colorado State.
And some of those are going
yeah.
to the Pac-12. So
Right.
That's, it's
Are-
it's
Now,
gonna be
for
a
me,
mid-major.
long shot. For me, I would love to see these 4 schools join the Pac-12. Me personally, I would love to see Montana, Montana State, North Dakota State, and South Dakota State. Those are the 4 powerhouse schools in the FCS. In the preseason, they were ranked. I'm not kidding. They would rank all 4 of them in the top 4. I would like for them to join
It's
the
in that.
FBS.
It's in that area too, which is why I kind of like that.
And that's the other reason why I chose those 4 schools, and that would go from 6 to 10. I think that would be a great opportunity for those schools in those 2 states to showcase what they have, because they've always been power schools in the FCS. So that's just me. I don't know what anybody else thinks about the Pac-12, but let's keep that something to add.
It'll make it more competitive, I think. It'd be better just for the region.
And,
in my
and,
opinion.
that, and that was my sole reasoning. Somebody wrote, I don't know if it was an article on ESPN. Someone had mentioned that it's, again, the Western region rivalry. That's all it is, man. And I think it would be more fair for the fans. And for me, because I am that guy watching the midnight football games on the West Coast. So.
We know.
So now that's what we have for this week on college. So I know this is going to be a little bit of a sore topic. We're going to go into the NFL, but the first thing we're going to really talk about is the besides the Buffalo game and the offense, where Buffalo basically said that they're still top dog in the AFC East. Buffalo Bills beating the Dolphins 31-10. One would have thought that would have been the biggest news. Unfortunately, we wish it was the biggest news, but it's not. As a result, during the game against Buffalo, unfortunately, Tua sustained another concussion. And I realized that his fingers started to tighten up a bit, and the cameras kind of shied away from it real quick. I'm kind of glad they did that. There's no reason for them to show that. But right now, he's been placed on the injured reserve. And by rule, he automatically misses the next 4 games. Miami will be at Seattle. We'll get to that in a minute. But right now, Tua just kind of, there's no timetable. My understanding is that they're just going to take it game by game. But in this case, the next 4 weeks is going to be a no-go for him. So, Keith, your thoughts on Tua, the Dolphins? I'll let you lead, man. Go right ahead.
You want to say something, Cheddar?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say for 4 weeks they really only played 3 games in the 4 weeks. They play Seahawks, Titans, Patriots, and then a bye.
Okay.
So I mean,
So they missed 3 games,
Yeah.
but it will be out for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Thanks.
I'm all good, Keith. You can go.
Just slide, bro. Slide. I don't get it. You're putting yourself out there. Your brain is already, not what it's supposed to be. I know it was over a year since his last one. Actually, maybe less than a year because he had one against Green Bay. I think I forget when that was, but that was his last one. I know when you're in the game and in the moment, you want to do whatever you can for your team, and I'm sure that that's what he was thinking when he wanted. I mean, but know where you are on the field. You had the first down. You did not have to go head first. But then I think he just got too overconfident because he had been run in the previous games, and there's been games where he actually went in there head first or he took a hit, and I think he got complacent with what his history is, and I mean it only takes one hit for him now. Personally, I don't know. It's tough. I mean, part of me wants him to retire. Part of me knows that they are not the same team without him. Now, with them signing Huntley, I don't know if he can jump over Skylar Thompson. I would like him to, because to me, Thompson he's just too predictable. You know what he's going to do. He doesn't have quick instincts like Tua does, as far as, he can't read defenses to me as well as Tua does. He can't pick that, that first receiver. Like, it's a different quarterback. Now, Huntley, to me, I would love to have him in there so he can run. He's a threat to run. He's like, he's played behind Lamar. He's a Pro Bowl quarterback. At least 1 year he was. But as far back to Tua, I just think these 4 weeks, he should really sit down with his family, with his wife. I mean, he's got 2 young kids now. The rest of your life is more important than football.
So let me ask you this. Would you, one-on-one, would you tell him to retire or come back and see what happens?
I mean, that's so hard to say, because he's the one that's feeling whatever he's feeling.
Yeah. But if you were having a conversation, if he comes to you and says, "Hey, what do you think? Give me your honest opinion," what would you tell him?
Like, as an organization,
I can answer that.
Not as an organ. I guess you can answer it.
If I was like his friend,
that's how I would answer it.
Answer it
from a Dolphins organization perspective.
I can answer it if you want.
No, go ahead. No, I want to hear what Keith.
I want to hear what Keith says, though.
if I was talking to him as a friend, someone that loved him, someone that cared about him, I would tell him to retire. That's what I would tell him. If it was Zach, if Zach was playing football, or Jack, and they just kept, I would, without hesitation, I would tell them to retire. The rest of your life is more important than playing a sport. Just that's what I would say.
What were you gonna say, Cheddar?
I was gonna say, if he passes all his neuro tests and he passes all that, I would give him one more. I would give him one more with a guardian cap. Has to wear a guardian cap. If he still gets a concussion and he gets in the defending position, he just needs to end it. He needs if he can't decide to do it, a doctor needs to just pull the plug on his NFL career. Honestly, because it's gonna get to the point where he's not gonna be able to walk his kids down the aisle. He's not gonna be able to throw football with his kids. He's not gonna be able to go see them play because he ain't gonna have neurological power to be able to do it or comprehend what's happening.
So my view on it, how I'm seeing it, is I think that he will come back for one more try, and I look at it as it's tough to just tell somebody what they should do, True. So as an organization, or not, if it was family, really close, I would say what Keith said.
Yeah.
But from how I'm looking at it, and from a Dolphins perspective, I would say you have to wear the guardian cap
100%.
if you're going to play for this organization. We care about your health, and we need you if you're going to make this decision, because it has been proven. It's not in your mind, oh yeah, now I feel safer. No, it's actually proven to help this guardian cap. So I would say, as an organization, if you want to return,
You have to.
You have to wear this. Like that's what I would do as an organization. That would be my advice to him. And then, like Zach said, if it happens again, that's it.
Me, what I would tell him is this. I personally would speak to him as if he was my son, and I would tell him to retire. I agree with what Zach said from an organizational standpoint. Totally agree 100%. But I wouldn't, and it's hard because if I was to personally, I don't know if I would as an owner. I don't know if I could not tell him to retire, but as a son, and that's how I would speak to him. But that's me.
Like I would say, I would like for you to retire.
100%.
Yes.
That's kind of how I would say.
That's how I was.
But that's
looking at it
me.
through an
That's me.
organization standpoint.
Right.
And then, lastly, just one sentence. I
Sure.
do think that the reason Tua went into DeMar, I think it's very likely that he didn't know where the first down was. He didn't know he had it.
Yeah.
Yes,
And I think he
so too.
lowered it trying to get it. I think he didn't know that he had it. That's what I'm thinking
Quite
as to why he
possibly.
didn't slide.
Quite possibly.
Yeah. Because he was just more focused on trying to get the first down. He had an idea of what it was.
Yeah.
And that kind of makes more sense because I don't really think he realized that when he started to like dive into the defender Hamlin, by the way, the gentleman who had the heart attack over from Buffalo against them where they played Cincinnati, but I don't think he realized when he dove he already had crossed the first down line or the yardage that he needed. But I do think he didn't realize where he was. He thought he may have been short.
I also think that he probably thought, okay, it's one defender. I can get hit by one defender. It's not like he was going into like two guys coming at him, three guys.
Yeah,
Or even a
it
linebacker.
wasn't like beast mode type,
Right.
like
And-
coming at you.
What is with these teams going into Cincinnati on primetime games and like this kind of stuff happening? Tua's first major concussion was against the Bengals.
Oh,
Lamar
boy.
Hamlin was against the Bengals.
Oh boy,
And now Tua's with against Buffalo. So
you're sounding like cheddar. You're sounding like cheddar. Not a
No, I'm just
compliment.
saying,
Not a
it's
compliment.
weird. It's weird. It's just weird.
The beard is
No,
weird.
but back
No, I
to
get what you're saying. The coincidence part. Yeah.
after his last concussion, his mom was the one that kept telling him she wanted him to retire.
Yes,
Nobody
that's
else.
true.
Nobody else was telling him that.
Yeah, his mom. I
Now-
think his mom is gonna. I think his mom is. I'm not gonna say she's gonna be the deciding factor, but I'm gonna tell you right now. I believe his mom is gonna be like probably the most influential voice. Not that he's going to retire, but probably taken to what she has to say, probably more so than anyone outside of the medical community.
So
Yeah.
he has
I'm
already
curious-
said
I'm curious if any more of his family members now are saying what his mom said the last one. I'm curious of that.
he already said he's not going to retire. He's going to finish the
Right.
season. So
Okay. Well, hope it returns. I'll be honest, because it's not the same, and I know Keith and the
He
Dolphins
has to
fans.
slide even if he's going to be short of the first
Yeah.
down.
Yep. Take the
It
fourth.
don't matter. Just
Take the fourth and
always get
take the
down.
4th and 2 or 4th and 3. I don't care.
I
Just
don't think
take it.
Mike McDaniels would care either. Honestly,
Yeah, I don't think anybody does because I'd rather punt 4th and 1 or 4th and 2, right? I don't care if it is in the 50-yard line and take my chances when I know I have 4, 5, 10 more years to play.
And
You
then,
know,
and then
I
depending
mean-
on where you are, you're better off going for it at that point anyway.
right?
Well, you got to think of the situation too. They were already getting busted in the mouth all game long.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
trying to make something happen. That was 4th down that they
Right.
that he was running on.
True.
So he was probably like, I got to make sure I get this first down, and it's just a lot of things that. But like Zach said, it's the main thing. You got to protect yourself because if you think the team needs you that bad, you got to be there for the team and you got to protect yourself.
True. But talking about the game, y'all got whooped, man.
yeah.
And Tua threw three picks. I believe one was one a pick six.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a pick
that was the
six.
one where
Two of them
Well,
wasn't
see-
his fault.
Right.
that one he was trying to protect himself actually on that one instead of getting
trying to
tackled
throw
and
it away.
possibly slant. He tried to throw it away, but he just didn't
Yeah.
he didn't throw it far enough.
If you
or he didn't
notice,
have
his
the arms.
momentum was
was
taking
going
him
back.
back when he was throwing it. So He
Yeah.
didn't have it, but it's one of those where you kind of appreciate what he was trying to do because there wasn't enough momentum for him to throw the ball. So it just happened to just,
Yeah. The
come
first
bad
pick,
luck.
I'm not making excuses, but the first pick, the guy, as soon as he went into his break, the ball was there like it should be, and he wasn't even looking for it, wasn't even expecting it. Hit off his shoulders. That was an interception. The second interception, what's his face?
Is that chosen?
Chosen. He didn't even run the right route. Plus, he slipped. So,
Mr. Jet himself.
and he's just been released. He's not on the team anymore.
I'm glad. I mean, he shouldn't be on a
Wow,
team.
he said that with conviction. He said, and he got released.
He shouldn't be on a team.
I can't stand him. He
Oh,
never did
man.
anything for us since we got him.
Mr.
Garbage
Robbie
trash.
Anderson.
Listen, I'm obviously excluding the Tua injury. I did still have Buffalo. So, what your chances look like right now for the Dolphins making the postseason realistically?
I mean,
Knowing
it
that
all
he's going to miss
depends
at
on-
least 3 more games.
It all depends on how much our two quarterbacks we have now, what they're going to do.
Well, that's where the running game's going to come in for them. You know that, right?
Yeah, and hopefully Mostert comes back this week. He's still questionable, I'm sure. He's probably going to be a game time decision. Good thing is he does have that because we played on Thursday night. Does have those extra couple days with his chest injury. Yeah, it's all going to boil down to Mostert, HN, and their rookie, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, they'd have to beat the Titans and the Patriots, you would assume.
Yeah.
To have
But
a solid chance.
Teams are going to take the blueprint from what the Buffalo Bills just did to them. They're going to play
Wouldn't
a
you?
too high
Well,
state. They're going to play
who
that
wouldn't?
too high safety, and I can't believe as supposedly as smart as McDaniels is, you couldn't figure that out, bro. Come on, you can't get your tight. I mean, Jonnu Smith had a decent game, but you can't get those shorter routes. Throw to the running back. You can't. I mean, HN he went off. I mean, Zach should know that he has him on his fantasy, but. You had to go to that more. I just don't. I don't get it. His
just gotta
coaching.
get your
He
play-
should not be. McDaniel should not be calling plays. As a Dolphins fan, no, take it away. Get an offensive coordinator because you're not doing the job.
Yeah, I think you just got to get your playmakers the ball. I mean, they wasn't even trying to. They were throwing screens to Waddle. You got to throw some to Hill, some quick slants, some screens. I think they're gonna obviously lose to Seattle, but I think that will give Huntley the time to kind of get his reps. That way, at least when they go into Tennessee and New England, they can try to just do those short little dump offs, try and get HN, Mostert the ball, and then you'll have that ability with Huntley to actually run and extend and make plays, which will give them a better chance to win than I think with Thompson.
I think you lose every game Thompson plays. Huntley comes in, you guys at least have a chance. But when Thompson plays, you are losing every single game.
I mean, as far as talking about, Miami going to Seattle, good luck with the 12th man. We know what that's like. Segueing it with the Seahawks after winning and beating the Patriots. Geno Smith did his thing. We didn't run really well. I'm a little disappointed that going into the fourth quarter, they only had 25 yards rushing. But, throwing, what was he? 33 for 44, 327 yards, 1 touchdown, at least he didn't turn the ball over. But yeah, I'm gonna take Seattle over Miami at Seattle this coming Sunday.
Yeah, I am going to take Seattle, but I'm not going to count out Miami with that offense. Like, they still have the weapons, and the key is if you can get them, and you never know, Tyreek Hill can get that breakout touchdown
What I'm
at any point these next few weeks.
What I'm hoping is, because I saw a stat, I believe, as far as most pressured this year by a defense, so far Seattle's number 1 at 50 with the most pressured coming after the quarterback. So I'm hoping Mike McDaniel has a game plan where he's just going to come after Thompson, bro. He's just going to just come after him. I would.
I'm gonna go with the Seattle Seahawks over Miami, just because Thompson is very bad.
I'm gonna let Keith. Keith, you know what, bro? Whatever you gotta say, brother. Go ahead.
I don't even ask me. I'm gonna say the stupidest thing because I can't go against. I can't go against my team, even though
Be
can't.
realistic.
Wait,
It's okay to be
What
realistic.
did you put in the pigskin pick'em?
Miami.
All right, that's his answer.
I mean,
I just can't.
Can't
I
just
mean,
be realistic.
Hey,
look, do you
hey.
want me to call you? Do you want me to start calling you Tigo?
wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. Okay.
It's like, oh boy, here we go.
What happens if Skylar Thompson played like he did against that Buffalo game in the playoffs? We almost
What is
beat him.
that? One out of like 12 games he played.
I
Cheddar,
mean,
I'm not asking you. I'm asking the other two.
he's-
I'm just messing with you.
I mean,
Unfortunately,
look.
I agree with you, Cheddar. They're not going to go anywhere with Skylar Thompson.
Honestly, Miami's best
Listen,
chance is that Thompson is absolutely garbage in the first half, and they put Huntley in the second half, and he goes just crazy.
Screen pass.
That's like their best. That's honestly the best case scenario.
you know,
that's true. That's
I
true.
used
Yeah.
to be a Miami Dolphins fan when I was younger, so they always have a soft spot in my heart. But my second team is the Seattle Seahawks, so I ain't gonna say nothing about that.
So I mean, with that being said, last week, obviously, Aaron Rodgers did a little bit better. They beat the Titans 24-17 at Tennessee. It could have went either way, but they held up and won the game. The interesting thing I saw is that that's 24 straight game by Aaron Rodgers, throwing less than 300 yards in a game, which is really rare. And during that span, his QBR rating is, I believe, in the 40s. Everybody keeps talking about Russell Wilson and declining, which I'm still trying to figure out what declining is. But if you're all talking about Russell Wilson and declining, and he shouldn't even be starting for the Steelers, then what do you call Aaron Rodgers? Now I understand he was
I
hurt.
can answer that.
I understand he was hurt and all, but when you go through that for 24 straight games and you haven't even thrown out one 300-yard pass, your QBR rating is relatively low. That's showing decline. I'm not saying he's garbage because he's not. I'm just saying it's showing a steady decline. That's all I'm saying.
They got one receiver.
Garrett
He's got
Wilson.
one-
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. He's got one receiver that he can count on.
But
I think he also has Alan Lazard. Not the best, but like
Yeah.
he was with him in Green Bay for a
He
little
has
bit.
Brees Hall.
well, Lazard.
Oh, don't forget. I think they're warming in Mike Williams from the Chargers.
So
they're trying to ease him in.
Yeah.
but we'll see later in the season how that
So
works.
who-
out.
so who
But
do
yeah,
you-
mostly just one.
So who do you got, Efren?
Which is tonight, by the way.
Yeah.
Patriots at Jets. I'm gonna go with what I believe I picked on
To pick them.
to pick them. I took the Jets.
All right.
I took the
So
Jets.
I'm taking the New England Patriots because Aaron Rodgers don't want to play football. I'm sorry. This dude is just collecting a check for the New York Jets. Dude, I can't say what I want to say because I'm on this podcast.
Go ahead, Zach. You finish your thoughts then. No, I didn't say Chet. I said Zach. You finish your thoughts. Then.
Yeah, I'm just going New England over the Jets because Aaron Rodgers would rather be doing other stuff, sitting in the dark or something, than playing football.
I don't think you can really speak on a man's
I'm not.
desire to want to play or not play a sport. I'm not going to speak on whether. I mean, he's there. I would assume for a reason, because he wants to play, and now he has one of the best defenses. Obviously, first week they didn't show up.
Then-
They
then-
did better and against Tennessee, but this is one of the best rosters he's had around, and he wouldn't be. I just think that he wouldn't be playing unless he wanted to. But I do have the Jets winning this game.
We're gonna go over now with the
Keith.
Oh, I'm sorry, Keith. He's still there again.
You know,
Silent but deadly.
He would have been fine with you just passing over this game. I'm sure.
Silent
I
but deadly.
really would. I really would. Because I hate.
No,
Well,
you-
you don't want to pick anything.
But you're
don't.
going to. But you're.
I hate.
Pick them.
Pick 'em.
Pick them. Just
Pick 'em.
say the team.
Just say the team. There you go.
I think I
Gotta
pick
pick a
the
team.
Patriots.
There you go.
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Because I think I hate as much as I hate the Patriots. I think I hate the Jets a little bit more.
No, you hate Aaron Rodgers.
No,
No, it's
I
the
never
Jets.
had a
No,
problem
no,
with
it's
Aaron.
the
Rodgers. I
AFC.
never had a problem with.
That's
Oh, that
just,
is Jason,
yeah,
you're
that's
right.
an AFC East thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So 2-2 we got going on there. The big one though, the big upset, Minnesota Vikings over the 49ers. 23-17. We'll get to the other one in a minute. I know which one I think you're going to talk about. Again, McCaffrey out. They still don't know how long he's going to be out that I'm aware of. But again, the upset, the Vikings 2-0, 24-7. I mean, I'm sorry, 23-17 at Minnesota. And I don't know. Are the Vikings for real? Sam Darnold, where back in 2018 he was the number 3 pick by the Jets overall. I mean, is this something we don't know about?
I think Minnesota's defense is way better. Their offense, on the other hand, I think it's a pretender, but they will always be in games because of their defense.
Well,
so it's
it's going to be hard this time because I heard Justin Jefferson is hurt. Is he coming?
He's playing.
He's still playing. Okay, all right. Because I know he was hurt in the fourth quarter. Then they took him out.
Yeah,
he got carted off. He is playing.
Okay, all right. Because I was just about to say if they were or they weren't.
Underdogs has him as playing. So
Yeah, I think the Vikings, honestly, when I'm looking at it, won this game more because Brock Purdy had a good game.
Yeah.
Overall, Jordan Mason had a good game. They had Debo 8 catches, 110. George Kittle 7 for 76.
Well, the Vikings were pressuring though.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I'm not taking.
Purdy.
Yeah, they had a good game, but the Vikings defense was still great. I seen this video of them breaking down these rushes and stuff, and I'm very impressed. They disguised it really good.
I'm sorry, but could you remind me who the defensive coordinator is for the Minnesota Vikings one more time, Zachary?
It's Brian Flores.
Here, can I
Look at it! You should give that little look. Look at that. He gave me that one eye look.
Can I add something?
It's because the Vikings have Van Ginkel. He changed that team around. Van Ginkel did it.
The Vikings also only punted once, so it's like
I give credit more to the Vikings. I mean,
The Vikings defense.
Is it just like is it like a letdown from the San Francisco defense? I mean, you gave up a 97-yard touchdown to Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, but
it's Justin Jefferson.
It's Justin Jefferson. I mean, come on, that's gonna happen. That's like taking away Tyreek Hill's 80-yard.
I mean, it was a killer throw by Sam Darnold. Though.
You're gonna get those plays every now and then.
I'm gonna give the Minnesota Vikings defense more than
the San Francisco letdown.
Letdown, yes.
Here's the thing: you take away Justin Jefferson, their next 3 is 3 for 54, 5 for 36.
Yeah.
So like, it was really only Jefferson that was having a day. And then obviously Ty Chandler had the 10 carries for 82 yards. So,
but
you take away that one play.
But that's why I'm going to give more credit. I think for me, I'm going to give the Vikings defense more credit than anything else.
Yeah, but you look at the stats of the game. The San Francisco 49ers had the ball almost 10 minutes more than them. So, I mean, total yards was pretty much the same. 399 for San Fran, 403 for the Vikings.
But that go and that was like the same game last with Seattle and the Patriots. Not necessarily the amount of yardage, but maybe it is. But they kept driving, but the defense held them to field goals.
Bend not break.
Well,
right.
I think what I'm looking at is Brock Purdy was sacked 6 times.
See,
so he probably converted a couple of those for first downs. To I didn't watch the game, but I assume that he extended it, but then it just ended up catching up to them. Like a little later in the drive, adding onto that time of possession.
It's that 55% blitz package that Brian Flores throws out at you.
Well, it's not just the blitz. I'm sorry, Keith, but it's not just the blitz package. I was actually watching how they broke it down, and he would disguise as if they were gonna go and blitz, and then they run back and cover in the zone or go ahead and help out the DBs. They can realize it or figure it out at the time by Purdy, and then you got the front.
Yeah,
just basically go right in.
They disguise their cover 2 and cover 1 robbers very good.
Yes, they did. They did.
It's not like the San Fran's defense didn't show up. I mean, they had 3 sacks. They had 3 sacks in the game. They didn't allow anybody over 100 yards rushing. The only person that killed them, it looked like, is Jefferson, 133 yards.
Well, and he could have probably still had more had he not come out the game either.
Longest 97. I mean,
yeah. But sometimes that's what it takes. It just takes that one play to get that team going.
Mm-hmm.
The next one, I know that our boy Jason is not here, and the Bucks. Some people think that was an upset. I don't think so. It was more of a revenge game because last year the Lions beat the Bucks in the playoffs, but the Bucks actually took care of business. Here's the thing, though: the Bucks had 214 total yards. Okay, the Lions, on the other hand, had 463 total yards of offense. The problem is that they couldn't capitalize, and Jared Goff actually had 2 interceptions. Well, I think one of them slows them down on driving down the field. But again, bend but don't break type situation. So next, no,
If
go
I,
ahead.
if I can remember, if I can remember our conversation, Jason told me there was 3 plays in that game that pretty much lost that game for them, and I believe 2 of them were decisions by Campbell. But I can't remember exactly what he was saying. But
So-
that's the gist of what he was telling me.
So what I was gonna say is, give the majority of the rushing attempts to Gibbs, please. Like, honestly, like
We're
I
talking-
get it. Dave Montgomery is a good running back, but give the freaking ball to Gibbs, and then goal line, put Montgomery in. Like, honestly, maybe Montgomery as a first down running back, but man, give the ball to Gibbs.
Hey,
Well, almost
all
a
I know
quarter of-
is they
almost
just
a-
didn't score at the end of the day.
almost a quarter. Sorry,
No, go ahead, Keith. I'm sorry, bud.
no, I was saying almost a quarter of Gibbs' rushing yards was on one play. He had 24 yards on one play.
It's hard when you don't get consistent reps 24/7. You know, you come in,
They
you go out,
split-
you come in, you go out.
Well,
Yeah.
didn't
They split their reps.
didn't
Yeah, I
did
know.
Jared Goff had over 50 attempts?
55.
55.
There's your problem. 55. There's your problem right there.
2 interceptions too.
Yeah. Well, eventually, if you throw it 55 times, eventually you're gonna get picked off, probably
Yeah.
even 2 times.
Daniel Jones throws 55 times. He's getting picked off 6.
Right. But
Let's
No.
save the Giants for when it's their turn.
no.
Sounds
Oh
good.
yeah.
No, sounds good. You're right.
So oh no. So probably the most Tigo, I hope you're really listening and watching this right now.
Remember, they were hurt. Kicker was hurt. First
Yeah.
play of the game. though.
Yeah, okay. It sounds like a you problem. Listen,
No, not a my problem. Giants problem.
again, go back. You problem and the Tigo problem. I think I probably watch. I was watch. Actually, I think I'm gonna say this every weekend. Probably.
No one watches.
We trust me. There's someone in the household that watches downstairs. We kind of knew something was going on because my father-in-law, bless his heart, Zach's grandfather, and yes, that gentleman right there by the name of Keith, that is his son, and you can hear. I'm not even gonna repeat what this man said, but you can imagine what he was saying, and we already knew that it was pretty bad. But when I kept watching the score, I was wondering why he was getting mad, other than the fact that he kept saying, "You suck, you suck, you suck," and everything else you can imagine. But you know that things are going bad when you score 3 touchdowns, your opponent scores 7 field goals only, and you still lose the game. Now, is it true? I didn't follow up, but is it true that the kicker actually got hurt and they ended up going for 2 every single time when they scored a touchdown?
The kicker got hurt first play of the game.
The kicker got hurt the
First
so,
kickoff.
So let me repeat this one more time.
Wait.
You have to be a Giants fan to suffer through the most improbable injury to have occurred to a kicker on the first play. You have to be a Giants fan. And I don't really feel sorry for them. I really don't. And next week you play Cleveland. I have no shot of the Giants winning this game. At all. At all.
Can I go?
Deshaun Watson's still the quarterback on the other end. You never know.
Can I go?
But they have a good defense.
Okay.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Cheddar. Go ahead. Go ahead.
First of all, the Giants knew the kicker was injured the day before the game, and we also only had 51 players up in the roster. We have a kicker on our practice squad, by the way. Also, Malik Neighbors does have more receiving yards than Tyreek Hill right now through 3 games. Just letting you know.
Wow.
Also,
Wow.
Ooh.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Speak your mind.
It's
Speak your mind.
it's honestly more like I'm speechless at this point now, man.
And yeah, you're still talking.
How bad can the Giants get? with being an organization. Like, honestly,
Keith is falling asleep.
I would fall asleep too when a rookie has more receiving yards than your all-pro wide receiver.
Oh my God! Go ahead, Keith. Keith, you need an aspirin.
It's hard because I can't say what I want to say.
Good, because you can't.
I can't say what I want to say because I can't say it without
No, you can't.
with bad language.
Good.
It's not hard to speak your mind. With
It's
no
not
bad
hard to
language.
speak your man. It's not that hard without bad language. You don't need. Just trust me. It's not that hard. I'll say it for you.
Sometimes saying nothing is better
It's
than
like
saying
just such
something.
a bad organization, man.
Here's,
Like,
here's
it's-
your thing, though. Yeah, he has more receiving yards than Tyreek Hill, but your statement was 10 times better. He doesn't have 10 times more receiving yards than Tyreek Hill. So,
Come on, man.
Wait.
you said it, not me.
Keith,
It's impossible to get 10 times more receiving yards.
Wait.
Yeah,
Keith,
that's how insane that statement was.
Keith says
Come on.
something. Keith says something perfect. Keith says something perfect. Something about is better than Keith. Why don't you finish your thoughts to the Giant fans?
Sometimes it's better saying nothing at all.
Listen, I'm getting to the point where I agree with you, honestly.
We were hoping you agreed with us in the
I do.
preseason.
I'll give
That's
you
what we were
your
hoping.
neighbor.
We warned you.
Listen,
we warned
I
you.
said we suck. I will
That's
always
true.
say we
Yeah,
suck.
That's true. That's true.
Daniel Jones is the worst quarterback in the freaking league. I
but
don't
he had
care what
100%
anybody
QB.
says. I'm so sick and tired of Giants fans trying to defend this bum as a quarterback. He should have stayed in Duke, changed his major to a mechanical engineer, and never touched the football field in the NFL. Matter of fact,
Let her go. Let her go.
I'm waiting for him to
and I'm sick and tired of this offensive line slander. They're fifth in the NFL in offensive line ratings in the PFF. I'm so sick and tired of hearing it. We have a number one receiver in Malik Neighbors. You finally decide to throw him the ball in week 2. He almost won us the game. He made one drop in the fourth quarter. Whoop-de-doo. Let's all blame Malik Neighbors. But maybe if our coach and our GM managed to get us kicker that signed a kicker to the roster when our kicker was hurt and they knew about it, we would have won the game. But nah, let's giant it. I hope John Mara enjoys all the. Man, I gotta stop. Just go, Zach. I gotta stop.
Yeah.
So
Efren.
Daniel Jones actually had a pretty solid
Trash.
game. 16 for 28
Whoa.
with 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions.
Whoa. Okay.
He had a
Okay.
better QBR than Jaden Daniels
Whoa.
and a better quarterback rating.
And one sack.
Whoa.
Efren, remember that movie, The Wedding Singer?
Yeah. It was Adam Sandler.
He go, he's losing his mind. That's better right now.
I've been losing my mind for 6 freaking seasons with this bum.
Oh man, I don't know what that's like.
All right.
And listen, I'm listen. He had a good game on Daniel Jones's stat line. Okay, that's a good game for Daniel Jones. We need him to be great.
His quarterback
We need him to be
rating was
great
100.
to win, not good. Good is not good enough for Daniel Jones. Good is average. Good is below average for Daniel Jones. He needs to be great.
If we're being real, that game isn't on Daniel Jones.
You're right. It's on the
we're being
coach,
real.
the GM, and the owner.
Yeah,
You're right.
So you're going on that Daniel
I don't
Jones,
care.
but
They're
he
still
actually-
bums. They're all bums.
All right,
DJ alone.
we're gonna move on from the.
Trash.
We're just moving on. We're just moving on. This is like a weekly thing
They
for
might
us.
as well
I mean,
be
we enjoy. I don't know about you guys, but I enjoy a good laugh.
They
so.
might as well be the Astros, man. Hit garbage cans.
Oh
freaking
my
on the field.
gosh, man! There,
Throw a
Let's
garbage
right.
can at QB. It'll
Let's
probably
speed
play
this up. Let's
better.
speed this
That's,
up. Let's speed
yeah.
this up.
So
Let's move on from the dumpster fire.
There you go. Actually, the biggest surprise so far this year. Let me rephrase that. One of the biggest surprises so far this year is New Orleans. The whooping, the beating that they put on the Dallas Cowboys by the score of 44-19. You know that in 15 drives, the New Orleans Saints have scored with a touchdown or a field goal. They've actually scored in 15 drives so far this season. Derek Carr's actually playing out of his mind when their new offensive coordinator.
MVP front runner.
So,
For real.
yes.
Honestly.
I will say MVP front runner right now. I don't know. I believe I had Atlanta. I don't think any of us picked New Orleans, right?
I did.
I picked Atlanta.
I picked New Orleans.
Okay.
And then I think I picked. Tampa to maybe squeak in.
Okay, all right. I don't really think overall, though, not too many people had the New Orleans Saints picked to win the division. I'm still not sold on them yet. That's just me for the time being. But the fact that they did what they did to the Dallas Cowboys brought a smile to my face.
Oh, I loved it.
I loved it. I'm not even gonna lie.
loved it.
You know, of course, Jerry Jones is actually continued to talk, but yeah, keep talking. You know, because what's gonna happen is, Stephen A. Smith and the rest of us in this country that don't like the Cowboys are just gonna enjoy a good laugh. That's all that matters.
Listen, America's team right there. That's America's team.
That run defense is pathetic. Let's just call it how it is. I've seen a video breakdown of it. Their corners don't want to tackle. Their linebackers just don't want to hit the gaps. This is just bad.
I know that.
Micah Parsons was actually rated the best lineman against the run. You had defensive tackles on your team, but Micah Parsons was rated the best defensive lineman that game. That's how you know your defensive line is bad.
You know what team Jerry Jones is going to target drafting out of next year in the draft? Georgia.
I think Zach's comment just then shows what was the difference in that game, because if you look at the stat line, everything is so close except for the rushing yards.
Yeah.
That's usually the difference in the game. We listen, Seattle almost lost it. Patriots was starting to run it down our throats throughout the game. The only thing that prevented us from losing, to be honest with you, is keeping them out of the end zone. Yep. That was the difference for Seattle, to be honest. Other than that, they were running it down our throats.
Yep. If you guys seen that one Alvin Kamara run where he went in and then he just popped out.
Man.
And I seen a breakdown of it, and the linebacker just didn't go where Kamara was. He just stayed behind his lineman.
He didn't fill the gap.
Stood there, and even on that play, you'll see Parsons, the guy broke it down, that he actually sealed the outside, so Alvin Kamara just couldn't bounce it to the outside because it would have been an automatic touchdown. He actually did his job, forced Kamara to actually run in, and the linebacker and the safety or corner, they just didn't want to tackle.
They didn't fill the gap,
and then he just squeezed through it and just scored the touchdown. I mean, that run defense is just pathetic.
Well, enough about the so-called America's team. I just wanted to throw out there, I'm just glad they got whooped. But just real quick, for Jack's purposes, the Chiefs squeaked a win over the Bengals, 26-25. And realistically, the better team was the Bengals that game. Not even close for me. It's that 4th and 16, which was clearly a pass interference by the Bengals defender, clearly. And that was the difference in the game. They don't make that. If they don't commit that, 4th and 16, they don't convert the first down, their game's over. But it's, again, the Mahomes effect. They find a way to win.
I'm going to be honest, it's probably one of the worst games I've ever seen Patrick Mahomes play that I have watched. That's one of the worst games I've ever seen. They deserve to lose that game.
But it's the Patrick Mahomes effect.
That's how it goes. Mahomes finds a way, and the Bengals just suck to start the year. It's just how it is.
Yeah,
it's because Joe Burrow frosted his hair.
You ain't kidding.
He wants to be like you, Eminem. Come on, man. That's why.
He just needs to bleach it all blonde.
Yeah.
We could start calling him a Brazilian UFC fighter.
Well, Kansas City is going to be in Atlanta this coming weekend. Okay, and Atlanta just actually pulled off a win on Monday night against the Eagles with 1:46, and Kirk Cousins, to his credit, drove it passed it really down their throats.
Oh my gosh!
Them passing the ball on third, I'm like, you're passing the ball on third down. Even if you hand it off with 1:46, you got about 35-40 seconds to kill. By the time they get the ball, you kick a field goal, and they'll probably would have had what? I don't know, 40 seconds, 45 seconds, and they're gonna have, versus 1:46, which made the difference. I don't know. So
you can go.
All I'm gonna say, Saquon, you my man, bro.
Damn.
You my man, Saquon. I knew you were Giant for life. I knew it, man. It's all part of the plan, dude.
I think even if they had only 40 seconds, they put that ball down the field so quickly. Kirk Cousins, oh my gosh, they actually had to just waste time when they got on the other on the other side.
That's true. That is true.
The Eagles are not
crazy.
bad. The Eagles are not a bad team. They are very badly coached. Their head coach is, listen, their head coach is one of the worst head coaches in the league, and I stand by it. There's nothing anybody can say to change my mind. He is one of the worst head coaches. How do you lose a game in that manner and not talk to your team after the loss? He didn't say one word to his team. He just left. When you're celebrating after you score to take the lead when you have 48 seconds left.
It's definitely inexcusable to just not talk to your team after the game if that happened.
Oh, it's true. The
I'll
Mulata came out and said it.
I'll take your word for it. I think that was the right play call because they did that earlier in the game and it worked. But they ran it again. He was wide open. You get it. You get the first down.
Game's
you win the
over.
game.
My man.
Barkley he sold. It's that simple.
Well,
my man.
here's an interesting stat though that I saw. He, in the last 4 years, he has the most dropped 16 by a running back in NFL the last 4 seasons.
I seen somebody actually talk about this, and I actually completely agree. He said he is sick and tired of these defenses playing prevent defense and these last drives. He goes, he's sick and tired of 10 yards there, 15 yards there, another 10, another 15.
Dude,
he goes, just play it straight up because it never works.
You've been
and I'm
playing,
like, honestly, yes, don't give up any yards.
But
Dude, I've
put-
been so sorry.
No,
I've
go
been
ahead.
so sick and tired of prevent defense since like when I started watching football and I started to process it. I've been so sick and tired. I think it's the most trash defensive scheme. Like, I get it. Just put 2 safeties back. Just play cover 2.
Yeah, all you need is a safety or 2 to
Yeah,
just make
that's it.
sure they're there for the deep ball and then play it just how you normally play.
Yeah, just play cover 2.
You've been playing a specific defense the entire game, just to change it up for one last drive.
Yeah.
Why? Just keep it the way you've been having it. If you've been successful, why change it?
Just play it up front and just know that you're going to have safety help on those deep passes and you're fine.
Right. And then if you get beat, well, then you get beat and you blame your safeties.
The only thing you give up is like a little running back dump off that's going to get you like 5 yards like that. You can't give up 10, 15 every play, but
No.
you can give up
Yeah.
3 to 7 every time. That's
And
fine.
it's not, and the crazy thing is, it's not even just the plays down the field. It's they're throwing it on the sidelines.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the crazy part. You know how hard that is when they know you're gonna throw it down the sidelines to get out of bounds to stop the clock.
Peyton Manning broke it down pretty good on the Manning broadcast. He said you need at least a 10-yard pass play within the first 2 plays to be able to pull it off. To pull off the win. They got Kyle Pitts on an 11-yard pass play within the second play. And they needed was a positive gain in the first play to get that drive and to get out of bounds, and they would be able to pull off that 7-point, and they did.
Before we move on, the one shocker though, the Raiders over the Ravens. The Raiders, people. The Raiders.
See, I'm not shocked. I'm more disappointed in Baltimore.
I'm shocked.
I love Antonio Pierce. I think he can lead a lot of men to war. So I'm not surprised they got up and got hyped for this game against Baltimore. But I am very disappointed in the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson.
I'm gonna say it. I'm shocked. Okay, I'm not disappointed in the Ravens. I'm shocked that the Raiders won. I'm shocked that the game was close. I'm shocked. I still don't think the Raiders are gonna be over 500. I still don't think that they're gonna make the playoffs. I am shocked. And the Ravens being 0-2, that's even more of a surprise. That to me, the Ravens being 0-2 is a bigger shock than the Raiders winning. Even though I'm shocked that the Raiders won. If that even makes any sense for
fair.
anybody.
I think that's
Who's
fair.
picked them to win? Who picked them to win the division? You picked the Ravens.
I did too.
I picked the Steelers.
I picked
I
the
picked-
Ravens.
I picked the Steelers and the Ravens as the wild card.
Okay.
I was
Because
flip-flop.
So,
Yeah.
but other than that, is there anyone that you saw? Because that was the last one that I can think of as far as an upset goes.
I think you might have to just start focusing on running the ball more, honestly.
At the end of the day, that's what they're gonna have to do. Because next week, like I said, the one game we did not address though, it's Detroit at Arizona. Okay, and I got Marvin Harrison Jr. in my fantasy league who gave me 30 points last week. 30 points, by the way, accumulated in the first quarter Didn't get any more points after that.
I think he was taken out.
Probably, but they could have left him in there. I don't mind them scoring 70 like Miami did last year. So, but here's the thing: Detroit or Arizona, Keith?
I'm going Detroit.
Oh, we're doing our picks.
Detroit.
We doing our picks.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go Detroit.
we could talk about the game. You said Detroit.
Yeah.
I have Arizona, even in the pick'em.
Okay. Here's what I want to talk about is the one other game was Indiana versus Green Bay, Malik Willis revenge tour. Because guess who they play this week?
Tennessee.
Tennessee. It's revenge tour. Can
For
you do
who?
it? For
Malik Willis.
Malik Willis.
Oh,
Yeah, he pulled,
they
pulled the
traded-
win against Indy, and they play Tennessee.
They
this
traded
week.
him for Will Levis.
Oh, okay,
Levis.
okay.
Yeah.
So wait, so because he's with the Packers now,
Yes,
right?
he's the
Yes.
And the
quarterback
Packers
now.
are playing Tennessee.
Yes.
Oh no, that
That's-
one.
You gotta talk about that.
No, that's gonna be a revenge game. And Jordan Love is not playing. So
He is practicing.
Levis, right? But Levis still has not shown us yet of what he's capable of. But the Packers, I'm just gonna take the Packers because I think he just wants to beat Tennessee because they really never gave him an opportunity when they drafted him.
I'm looking at the game right now.
Who's
I mean,
favorite?
Against Indiana, Josh Jacobs had 32 carries for 151 yards. They ran for 261 yards. So Malik Willis didn't have to pass, but when he did pass, he was 12 for 14 with 1 touchdown.
Again, because
So-
he didn't have to pass the ball
Yeah.
because the running game was there. Again, probably
So
play action.
You won the game.
And
So-
he won the game.
so we'll see how
Any
that-
turnovers? I'm assuming none for the
No
that can pick-
interceptions. I don't know if he fumbled, but
Who do you got,
Bef-
Keith? Then
before we go-
Cheddar.
Before we go to any more picks, I just want to point out Caleb Williams is no better than Justin Fields was behind that Chicago Bears offensive line.
That is true. So far, he has not,
I couldn't say that before they drafted him.
and he has better targets.
and he has better targets. So
But they are 1-1.
they're 1-1.
So
Again,
we'll
I'm
see
not
how
gonna.
this goes.
He's 1-1. Like I said, I'm gonna give these rookie. Same thing with Bo Nix. Bo Nix is 0-2. He's played even probably more worse than you could probably think of. So I'm going.
Trash coach.
But their first win was against the Titans.
Yeah,
So-
that is true. That is
They
true.
play Indiana this week, though.
Yeah, that is true. Hey, I think we're gonna need to make a shirt that says trash
No bums.
or bums. Seriously, because this dude is just coming. This dude's just calling everyone he can think of trash or bums as we speak. But right now, that's all the picks that we have in regards to this coming week. Unless,
That's it.
as far as I can think of right now,
You don't want to just go do a quick pick 'em right now?
yeah,
For all the games.
we could do a quick
I
pick
could
'em.
quickly just run
Yeah,
through
just
this.
list them
So
up.
we did the Patriots, Jets. Obviously, I mean Giants, Browns. I would assume we all have Browns.
Yeah, I'm going Browns.
I'm taking the Browns.
Okay. Packers, Titans. I'm gonna go Packers.
Me?
Anybody?
Packers.
Oh, I'm taking the Packers.
I got
No,
Green
no,
Bay.
I'm sorry. You know what? Because of my pick 'em, I know I didn't pick 'em. No, I'm taking the Titans.
You can change it, by the way.
No, I know.
If you
Oh,
want.
you know what?
You can change it if you want. Even on the thing.
I'm 0-2. You know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm sticking with Green Bay. I'm going with Green Bay.
So you're switching.
Yeah, after the 261
Keith?
rushing yards. Yeah.
Keith?
Okay.
Green Bay.
Okay. Bears, Colts.
Who's that?
I'm gonna go Colts. Anthony Richardson had a pretty poor game, and they are home. I think they're gonna pull one out.
I'm going Colts.
I went Colts.
Got the Colts on this one, believe it or not.
4-0.
Yeah.
All right. Texans, Vikings. Vikings are home. All right, I'm gonna go the Texans. They're just too good.
I'm going Texans.
I went
I'm taking
Texans because
Texans.
I'm sorry. I went Texans because I wasn't sure of Jefferson's status.
And then CJ, I think, also really knows how to read a defense. I think that
Yeah.
he'll pick it up a little bit
I
better.
think he beats defense better than
And
a
he
lot
has
of
the
folks.
weapons
Yeah.
too. He has
So,
the weapons too to do
I
it.
don't think that'll phase him too much. Eagles and Saints. Saints are home.
I'll go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Saints all day. Eagles secondary is trash. Coach is trash.
Told you, print that shirt says trash. When he says trash, just put it up like this. That's all you got to do. Me, I'm I got the Eagles in this game.
Oh, also Saints having punted the ball once, so they scored every time they had the ball.
I've got good things must come to an end. I've got the Eagles.
Okay.
I got the Eagles. Because if they 2-0 right now, we wouldn't be having this discussion. That's all I'm saying.
I think the Eagles will pull this out. They have, I believe, a little bit. I think they have a decent run game. I could be wrong, but I don't know. I just feel Eagles are gonna pull this one out.
Keith?
I think the Eagles stay in their funk, and I'm going Saints.
Damn right.
Chargers versus Steelers. They're both 2-0, and it's in Pittsburgh. I'm gonna go Steelers. I don't know. Again, something with them. I'm gonna just go Steelers.
I'm gonna go Chargers.
I've got the Chargers in the running game.
Yep.
I know it's TJ Watt, but
Just run away from him.
No, it's just something about Jim Harbaugh. I'm telling you, there's just something about the guy. That's all I can say.
He's very good with his run schemes, man.
Keith?
I say Pittsburgh shuts down that running game. I'm going Pittsburgh.
All right. Ooh, no, he didn't. Yes, he did. Okay.
Damn right.
Broncos versus Buccaneers.
Listen,
Going Bucks.
Bucks. I'm saying you're gonna say. I'm saying Bucks.
Bucks.
Fuck Sean Payton. Get out of the league.
Panthers versus Raiders. I'm gonna go Raiders, but I think Andy Dalton will do a little bit better than Bryce Young.
I am going Raiders. Even though I want the Panthers to win so the Giants get the first pick.
You know what? I picked the Raiders, but I'm changing my mind.
Oh no.
I'm going to change my mind.
Oh no.
Andy Dalton. Maybe things change a little bit. The way they're. Boom! There you go.
Oh no.
I'm taking the Panthers, and I just did it.
All right.
Keith?
Nothing changes with Andy Dalton. Raiders.
And then we did Dolphins Seahawks. Ravens versus Cowboys.
I'm
I'm gonna go Ravens. Ravens need this game.
I'm gonna say Ravens because listen, if Ravens go 0-3, I just don't see them making the playoffs. They need this win more than the Cowboys. Some people may say differently, but I think the Ravens
and their
need
run
them.
game is trash.
Yep.
And I think they're gonna feed Derrick Henry.
They're
this
gonna
game.
have to because one of the things that
They better.
they were not doing is they're not feeding this man enough. You got him for one reason and one reason only. So use him. Look at how big that man is. He ain't a kid, sorry. How big that man is. So feed him. He hungry. Ravens.
I will never say Cowboys a day in my life. Ravens.
Hey, we got a shot at winning this thing against him. Go ahead.
It's in Dallas,
It's in
right?
Dallas.
It's in Dallas. It's in Dallas. Yeah.
Jerry World is overrated.
How about
Right.
them Cowboys?
Oh.
Trash stadium.
Oh, he said, "How about them cow?" Oh no, you did not just go Jimmy Johnson, Miami. You up in here? No, you
Yes, I
did.
did.
Crazy.
Oh
Yes, I
wow.
did.
Yes, he did. Okay.
No, I didn't.
Next game is 49ers versus Rams. I'm just gonna go 49ers.
49ers.
I got 49ers. Rams are going to
Niners.
start 0-3.
They don't have Puka or Cup.
No, they don't.
Niners.
We did the Lions and Cardinals.
Yep, everybody picked the Lions. I picked the Cardinals. Let me make that clear one more time. Everyone picked the Lions, but I picked the Cardinals.
And then Chiefs Falcons. I believe we all picked the Chiefs, or we will pick the Chiefs.
I'm picking the Chiefs.
I picked the Chiefs on the pick, but
Oh,
I'm
no,
taking-
I didn't.
Wait. He's going Lee Corso
No,
up
wait.
in here. Not so fast, my friend.
No, wait,
Oh
for real.
no! Oh no! I
Wait.
didn't.
Wait. So I did go Chiefs on the pick 'em, but I am gonna change it to Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
I am saying that Cousins, after this past game, they are going to keep it going. It's going to keep on rolling. And the Chiefs are finally not going to be able to just squeak by.
I have to ask you this.
Go ahead.
Isn't that 3 straight weeks where you went against the Chiefs?
So what are you saying? I should pick?
No. So you were actually like
Yes.
believing that the Chiefs were going to start 0-3 this season?
They got to lose one of them.
He said, I'd rather take a 33% chance that they're going to lose. Wow.
All right,
Wow.
I'm a Dolphins fan, so any team that's undefeated, I always got to root against them. I got to have every team and lose at least one game.
I gotcha.
Jack would love that.
Wow.
All right. Last two. Jaguars, Bills. Bills.
Bills.
I got Bills. Go ahead.
I'm
We're
taking
waiting
Chet-
for you, bro.
I'm taking Chedda's stance with like he does with the Cowboys. I can never pick the Bills. Jaguars.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
All right. All right.
And
Last but
game.
not least. Oh, by the way, Monday is a doubleheader. Monday night, just to let you guys
Yep.
know.
Yep.
Okay.
Washington versus Cincinnati. I think that the first 2 weeks are finally over, and the Bengals pull out a win.
I got Burrow, and the Bengals.
Washington. No, I'm joking. Cincinnati.
We all know he was joking, by the way. Even I knew he was
Cincinnati.
joking.
Frosty Joe will finally get his first win of the season.
Frosty Joe. Okay, I like that. I like that. Frosty
All right,
Joe.
all right, all right.
All right.
All right, all right, all right.
With that being said, I think this episode will be coming to a conclusion. We just want to thank everybody out there.
Can I say something
Oh yeah, by the way,
before the end?
please do.
before you're done?
No. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if you're watching on Facebook,
Yeah.
check us out on YouTube. All this goes up on YouTube. All of our past ones. We post shorts and stuff. If you want to like and subscribe there, support us on YouTube. That would be greatly appreciated. It's under the Sports Shed. That's all I had to add.
So I just want to let everybody know. Thank you for watching the show. We welcome any thoughts, opinions. If you ever want to be on the show, you can reach out to us. We can send you the link, and you can be on our next episode. Again, thank you for watching. As I always say, God bless everyone, and good night.
Cue the music.
Is it going?
Cue the music.
I love it. I love it.
Hey,
Just
we don't
end it.
have our music guy here.
Oh no.
Oh
can't
no.
Sorry.
Do 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 do
First up.
I love it.
do 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 do.
Sorry.
No
My
music.
bad.
That's okay, bud. Don't worry about it, man.
Did he end it?
No, it's still going.
Oh, it's still going. We need a blooper reel now.